Hi, I'm Barry Dutter. This week on The Takeaway, we're going to look at Spider-Man Homecoming. And before we get started, I should let you know there are spoilers here. Do not watch this video unless you have already seen Spider-Man Homecoming, because if you watch this video first, it will spoil the movie for you, and you don't want that. So let's get started. My first takeaway from this film is that senior girls are very forgiving and desperate. Now, here we see Liz Allen, who is a senior in high school. She's popular, beautiful, and smart. And I figure she's probably about 17 or so as a senior. Here we see this little punk here is puny Peter Parker. He is a puny sophomore. He's 15 years old, and he has a little crush on Liz. Now, Peter flakes on Liz twice in the movie before the homecoming dance. First, at her party, he shows up for like 2 minutes and then bails, no explanation, just takes off. Second, when they have the academic decathlon, everyone is counting on puny Parker to carry the team to victory. He is their ace in the hole. He is their #1 guy. He's going to help them win the tournament and make the school proud. And guess what? He flakes, no show, just bails. Again, no explanation. Peter is really bad at making excuses in this film. So, after those 2 major flakes, Peter then asks Liz if she will be his date at the homecoming dance. And Liz thinks about it for a second and goes, well, I guess I haven't really gotten around. I've been so busy planning the homecoming dance, I haven't gotten around to getting a date yet. So yeah, I'll go with you. Okay, now first of all, as far as her not having a date, she says she hadn't gotten around to it yet. Don't guys usually ask a girl to be their date to the homecoming dance? So what she's really saying is, nobody's asked me. Which is weird because she's so popular and pretty, everybody in the school wants to date her, but no one, I guess the old thing, nobody ever asks out the pretty girls. So Peter gets lucky, he gets the date with Liz, but she will come to regret it because, again, he flakes. As soon as they walk through the door of the homecoming dance, he bails. He turns on her and leaves. This poor girl's going to be traumatized for the rest of her life. She'll regret the day she ever accepted a date from this puny sophomore. The only thing I can think of is maybe Liz has a thing where she likes guys who ignore her and flake out on her. In which case, her and Peter would be a perfect couple. Next. A mask does not change your voice. Here we see young Peter Parker, and he talks like this. Hey, it's me, Peter Parker! And we see Spider-Man, and he talks like this. Hey, it's me, Spider-Man! The exact same voice. Look, when I was a kid, I used to watch Superman cartoons, and in those cartoons you would see Clark Kent, and he'd be changing, and he would say, this is a job, and he would open up his shirt, and then he would say, for Superman! 2 different voices. I mean, sure, he was only wearing a pair of glasses, but nobody could ever figure out his secret identity, because they'd be like, do you think Clark Kent could be, and then it'd be like, no way, his voice sounds completely different. It couldn't possibly be the same guy. But these 2 guys, it's the exact same voice. He doesn't even try. I would love to have seen a scene in Homecoming where Spider-Man makes a phone call to someone, and it would go like this. Ring. Hello? Hey, guess who this is? Oh, hey, Peter. No, it's Spider-Man. No, Peter, quit kidding around. I recognize your voice. What are you talking about? I don't even know who this Peter guy is. I'm Spider-Man. I'm totally Spider-Man, dude. Click. That would be a scene I would like to have seen. My next takeaway from Spider-Man Homecoming. If you cut a ferry in half and then you push the 2 pieces of the ferry back together, it will stay afloat. I did not know that. I would have thought that if you split any boat in half, that the 2 pieces would, sink into the water and the people would all fall out into the water. No, that does not happen. Who knew? I guess we all know now. Now, my next takeaway from Spider-Man Homecoming is sometimes bad guys just need money. And there we see the Vulture, and he's just looking at that big table full of money, and he's going, I need some of that. So, basically, usually in a superhero film, the bad guy wants to either conquer the world, or take over the world, or kill all the superheroes, or something like that. In this film, the bad guy wants just enough money to keep his family in a comfortable middle-class lifestyle. Which seems like he's setting his sights awfully low, but he's basically trying, the Vulture, he just goes about stealing all the tech he can get his hands on, whether it be from the Avengers, or from S.H.I.E.L.D., or from aliens, or whatever. He's just stealing all the tech and selling it so that he can support his family. I mean, I guess he wants to, maybe buy his daughter a car, or maybe, take his wife on a nice vacation here and there. And that's about it. I mean, that's all he really wants. So, I mean, I guess it's a nice change of pace from a villain. He's not trying to, he doesn't really have high goals. I mean, this really hammers home that we're dealing with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This is a neighborhood crime. This is not something the Avengers really would waste their time on, I guess. My next takeaway, and there's just no other way to say this, is that MJ is Zendaya. Now, here we see a picture of MJ from the comics. As you can see, she is a ravishing redhead. She's stunning. She's gorgeous. She lights up a room the minute she walks inside. Look at the look on Peter Parker's face when he sees MJ for the first time. He's like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. That's the girl I've been avoiding for the last few weeks? I must have been crazy. Now, this is the new MJ, an artist conception. That would be Zendaya. She's not exactly what you call a classic beauty. I see they're going in a different direction with MJ. And I know some of you are going to go, well, she's not playing Mary Jane Watson. She's playing Michelle Johnson, a whole different MJ. Yeah, well, this is the only MJ we get in the movie. We don't get this one, we get this one. So, they're clearly setting her up to be Peter's love interest in the next film. She's clearly obsessed with Peter. She can't stop staring at him, commenting on everything he does, teasing him. She's probably figured out that Peter is Spider-Man. They kind of hinted something a little bit there. We're going to be seeing a whole lot of this MJ. You better get used to her. Now, before you draw any conclusions, I will say this is the second time MJ has been miscast in a film. Because the previous MJ, Kirsten Dunst, also did not measure up in the looks department. Kirsten Dunst, or as I like to call her, old snaggletooth Moonhead, is not really a classic beauty either. She's cute. She's okay. I mean, if you saw her in a bar, you'd be like, yeah, I guess so. But she's not this ravishing redhead that we see here. So I still feel like they have yet to get Mary Jane right in the movies. Maybe next time around. The next takeaway. Every villain is somebody's father. Here we see the Vulture with his loving wife and his beautiful daughter. Now, ever since Darth Vader was revealed as Luke's father, every supervillain has to be somebody's father now. That seems like a thing. Apparently we can't get away from that trope. This was the big twist in the movie, when Peter shows up to pick up his date for the homecoming dance, and he meets her dad, and it's the supervillain he's been chasing the whole movie. I don't know that twist really added anything to the movie. I mean, okay, so we get an extra scene or two of Michael Keaton interacting with Peter. It is kind of fun to see Michael Keaton slowly figuring out that the kid that he's driving to the homecoming dance, along with his own daughter, is actually Spider-Man, his worst enemy. It's kind of, you see like Keaton, you see the wheels turning in his head, you see his eyes light up when he figures it out. So that's kind of fun. I wish everybody didn't have to be related. Now, Liz Allen does have a relative who's a supervillain in the comics. Her stepbrother, I believe, is the Molten Man, who we have not yet seen in the movies. But she definitely has never been related to Adrian Toomes before. Next, secret identities are hard. Look, Spider-Man was going to be the first superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to have a secret identity. None of the other heroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has a secret identity. Not Iron Man, not Captain America, not Black Widow, none of them. Most of them don't even bother wearing masks. So, it would have been nice to see him keep a secret identity. I mean, I will say this, at least the new guy doesn't go taking his mask off half the time when he's in action as Spider-Man as those other two guys did. So we do have that going for us. But 3 people discover his identity in this movie, maybe 4 if you count MJ. We're not sure about her yet. In every Spider-Man movie, 2, 3, 4 people figure out his identity. It gets a little ridiculous after a while. I guess secret identities are just too hard. I think to me, secret identities are one of the things that were charming and fun about comic books. I would love to have seen them in the movies, but you will not see them, apparently, much of them in any Marvel movie. Ironically, in the DC cinematic universe, Superman, Batman, and I think Wonder Woman all have secret identities. Go figure. Tradition. Next. Superheroes never call for help. The biggest flaw in shared cinematic universes is that nobody ever picks up a phone to call anyone. Like when Peter Parker arrives at the homecoming dance and he suddenly realizes that the Vulture is about to go off and commit his worst crime ever, all Peter would have to do is pick up the phone, call Tony Stark, and say, "Hey Tony, look, I got the license plate. I know you can track anyone. You got to stop this guy. He's probably going to steal some Avengers tech, and I just want to let you know, he's trouble." That way Peter could stay at the homecoming dance. He could have his big night with Liz. Nobody ever picks up the phone. I mean, just once. I would love to see a superhero pick up the phone and go, "Hey, look, Iron Man, I'm going to need some help with the Vulture. I can't handle this guy by myself. Thanks, pal. See you soon." Doesn't happen. And my final takeaway from this film, and I'm really surprised to be saying this, is it's great to see Gwyneth Paltrow again. Who knew? Who knew that we even missed her? Look, Tony and Pepper are like the mom and pop of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And for a while there, it seemed like the mom and pop had split up and were never going to be together again. And so when Pepper shows up in this film, it's such a happy surprise. I did not know it was coming. You're like, wow, they're back together again. How about that? I really thought Gwyneth Paltrow would not be appearing in a Marvel movie again. I thought that her and Natalie Portman had departed these shores and gone off to greener pastures. So I still don't think we'll ever see Natalie Portman in a Marvel movie again, but hey, we got our Gwyneth back. That's pretty cool. The last few minutes of Spider-Man Homecoming are almost like Iron Man 3.5. You got Tony, Pepper, Happy Hogan's there. It's like the whole gang's here. It felt like a couple panels in a comic book where you cut away to the characters from a different series. I liked that. Overall, I liked Spider-Man Homecoming. It was fun. It's great seeing Peter Parker as a high school student again. Tom Holland does a great job in the part. He's extremely likable. Special effects were great. Michael Keaton knows his way around a superhero movie. This is his 4th time in a superhero or villain costume. 2 Batmans, a Birdman, and a Vulture. So, it's a good film. Recommended. Felt a little bad for Marissa Tomei. She had nothing to do in this film. Hopefully she'll have more to do next time. Other than that, good movie. Go see it. Thwip. Thank you very much. This is Barry Dutter. We'll see you.